Oh my god, the host just triple sat me.
Do you see who's food running tonight?
56 was just sitting there making out the entire time I was trying to take
Why do we have
order.
so many servers on the floor? Did you hear about 73?
This is a work of fiction. Any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events, is purely coincidental.
Are you a living room parent? A living room person?
I will stay awake to be in the living room until I feel tired. Because I feel like I also really like having my living room set up to where it is a comfortable place to watch movies, you know, whether that's like a couch with a chase or whatever, and or just something, you know, blankets and pillows or whatever. Like I'm super down for that.
But yeah, I just mean like in the daytime, would you prefer to sit in your living room or would you prefer to sit in your bedroom?
Honestly, probably living room. Just because like once I'm done in bed, I should get out of bed. But also because I will 100% go back to sleep if I am in bed.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times that I've been like, okay, I'm going to get up and do something. I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I get ready for my day, but then I continue to watch my shows in bed because, you know, my living room where I currently live is ice fucking cold.
Yeah, it really is.
Until 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I'm not going out there. Like, I'm not going to bring my whole ass fucking heating blanket and unplug everything and bring it out there just to stay nice and toasty. I'm just going to do it right here in bed. But the easily access to fall back asleep is a problem for me.
Interesting.
Because I will 100% fall back asleep.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
I'm a bedroom parent. I live my entire life in my bedroom. I don't like being in the living room. It's not comfortable for me. I don't know if maybe it's just like the open spaces of it all.
Sure.
Or just like people having easy access to me. Not that they don't. They can just cut. It's not like my door's closed. My bedroom's always open.
They're just like, hey.
Yeah, like my son
like up a flight of stairs, hey.
Yeah. My son can easily come into my bedroom and just be like, hey, mom, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I spent a lot of time in my bedroom as like a kid and as a teen, and now like as a parent myself, I'm just in my bedroom. My son knows that if he can't find me, I'm in my room.
Right. Yeah, for me, like summer months, I'm hanging out in the living room. But I did grow up, I was the kid that watched TV shows with my dad. You know, like we had weekly TV shows. We had Sunday and Monday and Thursday shows.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was into my teens and even early 20s. I'm hanging out with dad in the living room. Like, that's what we're doing. I eat most of my meals in the living room. Like, I really hate eating in my room. I was never, like, a food person in my room.
I don't like eating in bed either. I'm not a huge
not
fan.
at all. But I will snack in bed.
I mean, yeah, I'll snack the hell out. I'll fucking munch the fuck out of a snack, but I don't like eating dinner and stuff like that.
Right. So I'd much rather be on the couch or, you know, at the table or whatever.
Yeah.
But we weren't a big table, like a dining room table family. Like, not on either side. My mom preferred it that way, but a lot of us, like, she was also married to a man who watched so many fucking TV shows. Like, he had 6 shows every day.
Wow.
He was a TV guy to the extreme. Like, when TiVo came out, that was like, oh my God.
That's the business for those types of people.
Right. So, yeah, mom always liked to sit at the table, but dad was always like, yeah, let's just go sit in front of the TV, you know? And, like, that was fine. But
definitely didn't grow up dining room, like eating at the dining room table.
Right.
I grew up eating on TV trays in front of the TV. Yeah,
same. We
sure.
had TV trays for years and years.
I just cleaned off my dining room table because I used to have my PC set up on it.
Right.
And then we cleaned that off, put the PC up in my kids' room, and now we have a dining room table again. And some of it, my sewing machine's on one seat, but you know, we only need 3 seats for my 3-person family. So anytime, pretty much every single night that I cook dinner, me, my husband, and my kid all sit down at the dining room table now, which is like very new for us, but I do enjoy it. I
think it makes for a good family bonding time. Like, I do see the like importance of it when people come over to cook or when I eat at my friend's house. Right? That's dining room table, absolutely. Yeah. Like, across the board. Even if there's too many people, well, guess what? We're pulling out that little kid table and they're sitting at the kid table.
Yep.
And we're all sitting together. Because there's no reason not to. And plus she's got 4 kids, so it's like you got to contain them into one place. We're not all gonna fit on the couch, and somebody's gonna spill. You know. But no, I like having.
Her kids are young too, so it's rough keeping them.
I like having a really nice, comfy couch. Like, that's big for me. Like I told you, I used to hate your fucking couch.
My couch sucked.
This one's better, but I'm gonna admit it's
right.
still not enough. Like, it needs to be bigger. Like, a nice big couch is really where. Like,
do you want to spend a couple $1,000s buying me a nice couch for my house or what?
I have to spend a couple $1,000 to buy myself the couch I want. My dream couch on Amazon right now is $1,300.
Okay.
That's fucking stupid. That's
a lot of money for a couch.
I can also get one similar for $670. So it's like
You're better off getting the 671. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
but it's
Save
not the
yourself.
green corduroy one that I want.
Okay, here she is with the green.
Oh, green couch all the way.
It matches my
so
eyes.
hard. Green couch. Green everything.
Well, welcome back to Rolling Silverware. I'm Kat,
I'm Bunny.
and this is our post-shift shit talk.
It is. It's been a couple weeks.
It has been a couple weeks since we recorded. Also, everything's a little jumbled as of right now, just timing-wise. We have a couple of episodes that were on the back burner that
Right.
have kind of come out recently, but they were talking about shit from like a month and a half ago.
Okay.
So this is the week after the holidays.
Right, so we
we're
are
in January. Yeah.
Post Christmas Eve. Well, our restaurants closed Christmas Day, and then we had New Year's Eve.
Shockingly busy.
Stupid fucking busy.
It's never been busy on New Year's Eve at our
I have
spot.
worked every single New Year's Eve up to this point. So it's 5 New Year's Eves that I've worked with the company, and not one of them up until this one has been anywhere near busy.
Yeah, wild. We had over 400 covers.
We had 500.
That's shit. Fuck me.
Yeah, it was like 502 by the end of the night.
That's crazy.
That's insane. That's absolutely fucking bonkers. Like, I don't
We didn't even have that
understand
on New Year's Eve, on Christmas Eve.
No, we didn't have that on Christmas Eve. And that's one of our absolutely busiest holidays.
Yeah.
Neither of them were terrible, necessarily. Like, I mean, it was busy, but nothing really went wrong. Like,
No,
Christmas Eve, I
kitchen-
flowed really nicely,
Yeah.
you know?
I flowed well. I felt like the kitchen was kind of on top of their game. For the most part, for both holiday seasons, they definitely were staffed appropriately and they
Yeah.
were prepped appropriately and everything, you know. The one day where you really don't want to look at a screen with a crossed out baked potato is, you know, those holidays, and I'd never experienced
No.
that myself. So I was very, very excited about that, very happy about that.
Zero issues. Just I finally got a not closing shift on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Just to be told nobody's going home. So yeah, it was the minute I walked in the door, like so many people told me like nobody's getting cut tonight. We all have to stay. And it's like, no, the fuck we don't.
Yeah, you
Like,
yelled at me.
I
Made me
didn't
cry.
yell at you. I
Just kidding.
snapped a little bit because you were the
No, you
seventh
should, yeah.
person to tell me, by the way, nobody's getting cut. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up. I clocked in 1 minute ago and I'm first cut tonight. Like, I was in the station for once. That's first cut.
Yeah.
And I had New Year's Eve party plans, and I know, like, no matter what, we're all going to be home by the ball drop, right? Because we close at 9. So not a big deal. But I, like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
just come on.
And
like,
for a holiday where no one was expecting it to be busy, you're like, okay, I'm going to
No.
be there for my 2 hours and then I'm going to get
yeah,
cut,
I'm going to
go.
roll my silverware, and I'm going to get the fuck off to that party.
Yeah.
And that's not at all how it happened.
Yeah.
We were so busy.
Crazy. I also had, which was really surprising to me, people were still very gracious with their tips
Yes.
through New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Usually that doesn't happen for me. Usually, you know, Christmas Eve happens and everyone's like, oh my God, poor person, take all my money.
Please.
And, you know, and then you stand there getting showered with money and you're just like, oh my
Yeah.
God, little Timmy gets a Christmas this year. Thank
Yo,
you.
yeah, absolutely. Every single person on Christmas Eve hears about the fact that my son's at home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my son. Yeah, I have a good, we have a good Christmas planned for tomorrow. Yeah, just me and my
Yeah.
son.
Of course, you play it, right?
Oh,
You
so
play your
hard.
cards. Even if you don't have a kid, you're getting a stock footage of some random baby and putting it in your fucking server booklet on Christmas
right.
Eve. Like,
Yes.
always, right? But through New Year's Eve, I was still getting people. I had a table, $300 tab, left me $100 tip. I was like,
Fantastic.
shh, shut your mouth. Thank you. Like, I thought that was really cool and very unexpected, I would say, the last, like, 4 months. Everything I kind of expected from the restaurant, like, didn't happen.
No.
Right? So, like, expected September to slow down. It never
we
slowed
didn't.
down. Expected October and November to pick up. They died.
Yeah, we dropped off. It's one of the slowest Novembers I've had.
Exactly.
With the company.
December, I felt like it didn't even really pick up until really close to Christmas Eve. I felt like we weren't nearly as busy with holiday parties and stuff like that as we used to be.
No, to which our GM actually made a little bit of a comment to me about that, about the like lack of Christmas parties.
Yeah.
And one of her comments was, post-election, that a lot of people were really uncertain on, whether things were going to be able to, if businesses are going to be able to stay as,
Maybe.
to be able to afford everything. And like, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, a lot of my friends in bigger companies and things like that, their holiday parties got cut. Or their Christmas bonuses got cut. My mom's company, Christmas bonuses got cut.
Yeah.
Because these are people who are, importing a lot of goods or other things like that. So when she told me that, I was like, oh, that's a fair point.
That makes
I
sense.
hadn't
yeah.
even
I
considered.
didn't think about that either.
So,
But yeah, I felt like we didn't really pick up for Christmas Eve at all, as much as we had in past years
Right.
anyways. And then New Year's Eve popping off the way it did. I was like, what the fuck is this happening?
Even the week from Christmas to New Year's was fairly busy.
It was busy,
Like,
yeah, which we
like,
never are.
No, but it was like everybody was in town, everybody wanted to go out.
Yeah.
And, I mean, save tonight, we had stayed very busy. So, even a couple days after
Yeah.
New Year's, still pretty busy.
I worked the morning shift this morning. We were fairly dead all the way up until 3 o'clock. And then all of a sudden, at some point, I look in my section. I have 7 tables. Why do I have all 6 of my booths are taken and they're seating me at a table in the 90s. And I'm like, okay, I walk into the lounge. Fucker, it's 2 tables.
What?
That's why I was like, you insist on putting this guy in lounge. Magic the Gathering is who was in lounge. And he's not a strong server. He's definitely not strong enough to take the bigger sections, but you keep, I don't know what our server manager has with this guy. Like, he's obsessed with mediocre white men.
Yes.
And he keeps putting this kid in lounge where he can't handle it, and then they're seating him 2 tables. And I literally said something, the front of house supervisor, Auntie M, today. I was like, if we're going to put him in those sections, then we need to be seating him.
Yeah.
Like, this is bullshit. I don't care. You want to trust him with the sections, then seat him in his fucking tables.
Yeah. And he wants to sit there and be like, every single time that this happens too, that he gets really busy. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm really busy. And he fucking sweats and gets, like, he's
frantic.
in the weeds. Yeah, he's
Frantic.
super in the weeds and frantic with 5-6 tables. And it's like, yeah, well, that's what comes with being in these stations and stuff. And then, on slow days, he's like, yeah, after a 6-table section, this is nothing. It's like, fucker, you didn't even handle the 6-table section very well. You need to reel it in. Like, reel it back a bit, bro. Like...
Yeah, how many server errors did management give you as changed minds instead of server errors on those fucking 6-table station nights? Like, get it the fuck out of here.
It's the bragging for me that I just can't, I can't stand. Like, it's all in the industry, we compare notes. Like, hey, how was your night? Did you make this much? Did you make that much? Like, we do
Literally
that.
the whole point of the podcast.
That's why we're
talking
here
the drama
right now. Yeah,
it's comparing the notes.
But nobody else that we work with has come up to me like day after day after day after day to brag about it. And it's just like, oh, yeah, I was really, really busy, but I'm walking with this, and da-da-da. And I'm like, great, can you do something?
No,
can you get on your side work? Can you?
There was one other person that did that. That fucking stupid-ass kid that came from Yard House.
Nobody we work with now.
Nobody where we work with currently.
Yeah.
But that kid that came from Yard House that was constantly honest about sales and, like...
He just wanted to talk about Yard House. That's all he cared about. He was like, at Yard House, yeah. So what are your sales here average? Because at Yard House it was like $2,000 a day, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna get that here if you're in the right section and you stay, you don't go home early.
Yeah,
you're gonna get that here. And it's at Yard House, and I was like, fucker, you're not at Yard House anymore.
You left.
Yeah, or you got fired. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? He didn't stay long with us.
Some changes happening. So we had a hammer who was taken off the hammer list, put in her 2 weeks, very upset.
Yes.
Was she upset that she got taken off the hammer list, or was she upset that who was replacing her?
No, that she was taken off. It was very much, some things happened that caused her to get counseled. And from the council, it was, okay, well, then you can't be on the hammer schedule anymore for this, quarter, for this time being until we reevaluate. And she just felt like, what she told me anyway, she felt like there was no sympathy there at all, even after all the years that she has given the company.
That's fair. She's been here on and off for 7 years or something like that?
Yeah, a good chunk of time. Left for a year, came back, left for another year and a half or almost 2, and then came back.
But that was for school and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, and then she moved. She was moved away and came back. But either way, a strong enough server who had continued on with her hammer because we knew we could count on her.
Yeah.
And... she made her mistakes or whatever, but she just felt like there was no sympathy given to where she didn't feel comfortable opening up and telling them why those mistakes happen or why those call-outs happen.
That's fair.
She's like, I don't really feel comfortable, getting into it with you guys if this is what I'm being presented with the moment that it happens.
Yeah.
And I can see that. If I fucked up a day or two and all of a sudden they're coming to me and they're like, yeah, well, you can't do it anymore. I'd be like, you don't even want to know why? Like, why? Like, nobody's asking what happened, bunny? Like, are you okay?
When one of your strongest servers starts making random errors, you should ask, "Hey, what's going on with you?"
Right.
Before being like, "We're taking everything away from you."
Yeah, we're stripping you of everything.
Yeah, that is wild. So she put in her 2 weeks. She's gonna be heading out. Gorgeous left us. I'm devastated. Absolutely devastated. I'm so mad at her.
She told me 1 week before. She was like, "Yeah, my last day is New Year's Eve," and I was like, what? What? That's 6 days from now.
Yep.
Like, so you knew 7 days ago, and you didn't even fucking tell me?
You didn't even text me? You have my number?
Nobody said anything? So upset.
Yeah, I want to say it was like a day or two after that, I went into the bev station, and on our 86 board, somebody wrote her name and then like a picture
of her. Yeah, like a caricature of her.
I took a picture of it and I sent it to her, and I was like, who did this?
No, she's off to a less stressful job. She's gonna give,
she always had 2 jobs. So she's
right.
doing
She's
her
giving
second
all of
one.
her time to her less stressful job, and I get it.
Fair
I mean,
enough,
if you can get by with that, then do that. Like, that's fine. She's young enough. She's got time.
Yeah. I want to say her last week, everything that would just like the wild things that would happen, she'd be like, this is reason 837 of why I'm leaving. And like, yeah, the numbers just kept getting higher and higher.
Yeah, every time
she said something. And then we have a hostess who just got out of training, like right after Christmas. Probably not going to last. She's already called out a couple times, and management's not super happy with her.
Right.
We have our assistant kitchen manager. This won't go out for a couple of weeks, so it'll probably be out by then. But I don't know how much of a secret it is, so this might get cut. But assistant kitchen manager put in his notice. He's out.
Oh, is it an official notice?
Yeah, he put in a notice, and now he's calling out every shift.
Yeah, he hasn't been here the past 2 days that I normally work with him.
Yeah.
So I even asked. I was like, "Hey, where is Cam?"
Yeah.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, no, he put in his notice to fuck off. So he got another job.
Right.
And so he's going to be leaving us, which I don't know. Mixed feelings for me.
Very much so. That was a like volatile relationship that we had.
Yeah.
For a long time, like him and I.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and I think that he's a strong individual, but also I really feel like the ability to not be able to say that he's ever been wrong.
Yeah.
Like he
never
does
takes any accountability.
no accountability for his actions ever. It's always somebody else's fault, or it's always just not his. Has been annoying from day one. Yep. So we'll see how that plays out.
Well, yeah, because when he stepped in, the first thing he's telling everyone is, "I come from fine dining. I come from fine dining," and he was very like cocky and But then he was fucking up everything because you might have come from fine dining, but you don't know our line. Right. You don't know our system. Like you.
Well, and whatever fine dining he was at, I don't think it was as busy as what we get.
That's possible too. Yeah.
Because it didn't feel that way, anyways. And it's like, it's all well and good to have, a strong background. Like, I also come from fine dining years ago, but you don't see me here like, I'm a fine dining server.
Yeah, like, I'm better than this place. Like, that's very much the vibe he gave off when he first started, was I'm better than this place. Absolutely. And then he did calm down a lot.
Yeah, he grew on me. I mean, we had many fun nights. I gotta say, we laughed a lot. We joked a lot. Like, I've definitely closed that restaurant with him more times than I can count, and it's been a good time.
But then there's sometimes where you've, I would say almost, if not slightly less, almost an equal number of times where you've closed the restaurant with him and it was not a good time. No. Like, he gets in his moods.
Oh, yeah, and he's one of those people whose mood projects, like, outside of him. Yep. And that's stressful and just not needed in this kind of environment. Like, it's already a stressful environment. Yeah. Nobody needs that. So, hopefully that works out well for him. You know? I'll definitely shoot him a text if I never see him again, just to be like, hey, fucker. Like,
you would
PT
love
dubs.
That, yeah.
What the fuck?
Fly.
Fly.
And then we got 2 new hammers on the schedule.
We did.
Coming in, so that's exciting.
Moved up, pretty young thing.
Pretty little thing, and
I do often refer to her as Bambi.
Oh my gosh, she's such a Bambi.
She's such a Bambi.
She is not necessarily deer in headlights, but so innocent.
No, not deer in headlights at all, because she's just good at her job. But just so sweet, so kind, so gentle, like a deer out in the woods. You're just like, they're not stepping on anything,
Nope. They're just existing magically.
Right. Yeah.
That is 100% she is Bambi. When she first started, though, you've heard this story before. When she first started, I came in to eat with my family, and this was first time that my dad and his wife had come out of the house since COVID. Like, they had not eaten anywhere since COVID had hit. And this was probably 2 years after I started with this company.
Right.
So it was a long time before they felt comfortable enough to sit down in a restaurant. They were getting like takeout and stuff, but they were not sitting down in restaurants. The first time they go to sit down in a restaurant, they come to our restaurant, and we're sitting outside in the patio because that was the extent of what they were going to do.
We'll sit on the patio.
Bambi was taking care of us, and it was probably the worst service I had ever received in any restaurant ever. It was so bad, and I didn't know if she was going to last after that.
I agree. She's come leaps and bounds from when she started with us. So after we, because when we had our closer hammer meeting a couple months back, we all kind of threw her name out there.
Yeah.
We were like, well, what about Bambi? Like, why not her as another hammer? And it was, oh, she might not have the availability or this or that or whatever, but not a single person said anything other than, like, will she be available? Yeah. It was across the board. We all agreed, like, yeah, she's strong. Server.
She's strong enough. She's good.
Yeah.
She's definitely trustworthy. She is the only negative thing, and quote unquote negative thing anybody had to say was about her availability, and if she had the availability to do it. But I'm with you, because we've talked about this a lot. The availability thing cannot be the only factor in your hammers.
If you're available enough, then I think that should be it.
Right. And
because we can't go with these not only newer servers, but just less like quality people. Like if you're looking at some guy just solely on the fact that he has fully open availability, but he's fucking half the time garbage
and been with the company 6 months,
right? Then why are we even looking?
Right.
Because when I started with the company, you put your possible hammers through the ringer. It was, okay, well, you're going to get all these lounge shifts, and we need to see you close this place down. We need to see how you interact with guests. We need to see those sales. Like, there was multiple checkpoints before I was even like offered, like, oh, by the way, would hammering be something you want to do? Yeah. And that was, a while. Like, I was a supervisor before I was a hammer.
Yeah. I mean, I got notes too. I want to say it was a good 6 months before I was able to hammer. And before that, I had shown interest to management and said, once I get my feet steady on the floor, because I had gone from bartending down to serving. Yeah. So I said, obviously, I know
really
your drinks.
down. You just went across to serving.
Well, in our restaurant, it's a cross, but every other restaurant, it would be a step down. It's almost a step up in our restaurant.
It's almost a step up, yeah.
But I was very familiar with the drinks, but I wasn't as familiar with the food or with the steps of service for the floor. Right. So I did express to management when I first went to the floor, like, this is something that I want to do. This is my goal. I want to get to be lead server. So once I get steady on my feet on the floor, these are more conversations that I want to have. And they said, okay. And then 3 to 4 months later, I wanted to have that conversation again. And they were very much like, oh, yeah, well, you need to be in lounge more. We're going to put you in lounge shifts. Cool. So then I got put into lounge shifts. And then it was, your attitude with your guests is great, but your attitude with your coworkers is really bad. You have to work on that.
Work on how you talk to people.
And so
here.
Yeah, and so I worked on that. Yes. And then 3 months, 6 months after that, again, is when we got a kind of a new management team. Yes. And I brought it up again. And then at the time, that server manager, who was the really spazzy,
I was like the spastic one that we had. Yeah,
the really spazzy, server manager that we had. I brought it up to her, and she was like, yeah, immediately. Right. And she was 100% on board with putting me as a lead server, and that's when I finally got
and you had shown your growth, just like me when they started me in those lounge shifts, like I drowned for a while. Yeah. Because at least back then, you were literally only getting 5 or 6 tops. There was we didn't sit 2 tops in the bar on weekends back then. Because
they were all reserved for the 5 and 6 tops.
Yeah. And that's it. That's where they were putting those tables. Get over it. And so when you got triple set, you didn't just get 7 people. You got 18 people, and it was like, so it was an adjustment. Yeah. And then after proving myself there, it was, well, then, yeah, you're going to be a trainer and you're going to be a hammer. And I was like, yeah, of course. Because I also wanted that.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Right. Not just, oh, hey, Bunny, you have enough available days. We want you to start closing. Yeah. Like, okay, but I'm drowning with 3 tables. Like, that would be that'd be ridiculous. And that seemed to be the way that it was leaning for a minute. But with all of our input, I think we made an impact there.
I think even some other managers were putting in their input on some of these servers that our current server manager was looking at, like, oh, I'm thinking about putting them as lead server. And they were like, you can't do that. Like, this person's not good. Right. And I think our server manager was the one that was really pushing for, like, availability. But if you have, what is there, 6 lead servers total with day and night shifts? If 4 of them have open availability, why do you need 2 more with open availability? Just have 2 more to cover in the shifts where your current hammers are like available. If you don't have a hammer for Tuesday nights, guess what you need a hammer for? Tuesday nights. Right. Are they available Tuesday nights? and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, cool. They get Tuesday night hammers and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday somewhere else. Like,
Right.
why are you really basing everything off of this availability? It was
really
really
upsetting.
wild. It was a weird time there for a second
Yeah.
when they were talking about what new hammers they were going to put in.
Yeah, well, I put my foot down on one of them
Yeah.
specifically, which
I
you know
think
about.
so many of us
A
did.
lot of us did, but I had like a, hey, can we talk over here? Like,
Yeah.
we went into the office and I was like, listen, I hear rumors that you're considering this one guy for, I mean, I guess we could say it, considering Magic the Gathering for a hammer position, and I just need you to hear me so clearly when I say this, that I will not listen to what that man has to say when I not only know better, but I'm still teaching him things every single day.
Yeah, no, I'd never take direction from him.
And also, like, your closes are going to be garbage. Like, I'm sorry, because him closing his own smaller sections half the time, he needs constant, hey, you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to do the actual job.
Yeah, he can't figure out how to clean off his tables.
Right.
You really expect him to clean off a floor of tables at the
Right,
end of the
and
night
then
and
do
a walkthrough?
all that extra side work at the end to wrap
Yeah.
it all up and make sure everything's clean. Like,
Forget
you're
it.
going to hate this pretty quick.
Yeah.
So just don't do it. Don't do it at all, please.
No, but I'm happy with the choices that they made. Pretty Little
Very
Thing
much so.
and Bambi, I think, are really going to be great additions to the Hammer team. I think both of them individually have said that they're nervous to start, and they're not like super. They're excited, but they are nervous, and
Yeah.
that's fair enough. I think I was nervous my first like 3 or 4 shifts coming in.
Yeah.
I had butterflies in my stomach
Sure.
coming into the
I wasn't
shifts.
nervous about the section. I was nervous about handing out the side work.
That same. I was
Doling out the
nervous-
side work and having to look at somebody and be like, no, you need to do it again.
Yes.
Or you need to do more. Because these are all, some of these people, when I started as a hammer anyways.
Were hammers.
Not only were they hammers, but some of the people had been with the company already 5 years. And here I am hanging at a year and a half.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years. And I'm like, oh, by the way, do more. Like, it's really, I can totally understand where they're coming from. I was like, oh, well, you know, but I've told both of them, do not be nice.
Yes.
You cannot be like, oh, just don't roll today, or oh, just don't do this. That's fine. I'll get it. No, you won't. You have enough stuff to do, and there's enough people to delegate those jobs to,
Yes.
and you just got to get good at it. So took me a couple months, and then I started going around, and I was like, what side work do you hate? What do you hate doing? And if you say A, I'm just not going to put you on A.
Yeah.
Because I learned quickly that if I put people on things that they semi-enjoy doing, or at least they don't hate doing them, they're going to do them without question, and they're going to get it done.
Fully.
Right, and I don't have to keep getting that, well, I did this, do I really have to? Like, because I get that. And some people hate all the side work, so then it's like, sorry, suck it, you just got to do it.
Suck it.
Yeah, like, if you could look at me and you're like, I hate A, B, and C, well, you're doing one of them, so pick one.
Yeah. No, I was talking to Bambi today about Magic the Gathering in lounge, and I was telling her, like, why do I have 7 tables and he has 2? And she goes, why did they keep putting him in lounge if he can't take the tables? Like, if he can't
Right.
hang, why is he even in lounge? And I looked at her and I was like, now you're thinking like a hammer, baby.
There it is. You got
And
this.
she started giggling and walked away.
Yeah. No, I think things will be just fine. And
Yeah, I think so,
also,
too.
I thank both of them for taking the position, because it allowed me to get the availability back that I once had, because I had to take those Tuesdays because nobody else would.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't forced on me, but it was heavily implied that they would really appreciate if I took Tuesdays.
Yeah, of course.
So to not have to be there on Tuesdays anymore is like a real, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, you get your Monday, Tuesdays back. And
Yeah.
because you have a reason for wanting Monday and Tuesday specifically
Yeah.
off. So that's good that you get those back.
Very excited.
Yeah.
It did put me from one schedule to the new schedule changing. It did put me working 8 days in a row. So like, oops,
Hate that.
didn't think about that. But after that, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
After that, it's going to be great. And I think it's all going to work out.
I got to put up one of my shifts for a couple weeks from now. They scheduled me a morning hammer shift, and I looked at the server manager and I was like, I'm going to have to give that up. And I'm giving you the heads up now. And it's not because I don't want the shift. Any other week I would take the shift. However, my son is grounded that week. And he is not allowed to go to the park with his stupid little friends after school. So I can't be at work because that's the only place
Yeah, he
that
can't go and hang. That's
So
hysterical.
I was like, so I need to give up this shift so that I can get my stupid little kid back to our house and I can, hover over him while he reads a book or some shit. I don't know. Are you reading your notes?
No, I was looking at my schedule because I knew that they had scheduled me a double one day, and I was like, what day is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to take one of those the Saturday morning hammers off. And like we talked about, if they give each one of us one Saturday a month, like opening instead of closing, I don't think anybody's going to complain about that.
Not a single
It's
person.
only if you lock one like usual nighttime server into working all Saturday mornings, then they're going to be pissed about it because there's just more money in the nighttime usually.
Yeah.
Unless you're in that like one-off station that gets cut right away.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, Saturday nights are any restaurant's busiest time.
Yeah. They have me locked in on Sunday mornings, which I hate.
Right. Yeah.
And
I also hate because that means we don't hang out.
I know. And the minute I saw that Saturday morning hammer schedule, because I knew that the other hammer that had gotten taken off, that was her shift.
Yes.
And he gave it to me, and I immediately went to him and I was like, I'll do it this time, but I just need you to know that I do not want to be your daytime Saturday hammer.
Right.
Like that cannot be my usual shtick.
No.
I would like to be nighttime on Saturdays, please.
Well, and that's why I said I'll take it once a month.
Once in a while. You have
Because-
4 or 5 hammers with
Right.
open Saturday availability.
Yeah, so please go ahead and throw me one. Because also, I'd like to know what a Saturday night off feels like. I don't think
That's
I've gotten
interesting.
one without requesting it in years.
Yeah, and if you're
I mean,
requesting it, you're doing something.
Exactly.
You're not just hanging
So
out at home, yeah.
years of being the closer, I am there Saturday nights, well through the end. So it would be really cool to leave at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Something I wanted to talk to you about. Ugh, this upset me in such a weird way. So this happened yesterday, and I gave you I told you, I was like, I have something to talk
Yes, you did.
about. So I had this table, it was 5 people. One of the girls seating at seat 1 turned 21 10 days ago, right?
Okay.
But she hadn't been there yet. So there was grandma, grandpa, and mom
Sure.
was there. And mom looks at me and goes, the girl that's going to sit here, it's her birthday. She just turned 21. So she's
Fantastic.
probably going to get like a pina colada or something. And I said, oh, we don't have a blender. However, I can give her some great recommendations. You're thinking
Yes.
21-year-old drinks, right? And she comes and sits down. I let her know, hey, I heard you're just turning 21. Do you want some recommendations for drinks or do you know what you like? And she goes, no, some recommendations would be great. And I go, perfect. Do you like fruity, sweet? And she goes,
Right.
yeah, I do. And I go, perfect. I can make you a raspberry lemon drop. It's got sugar on the rim, freshly muddled raspberries. It's got simple syrup in it, fresh lemon juice.
Nice,
It
tart,
is-
sweet. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and I was like, you will absolutely love this drink. And mom jumps in and goes, oh, or a Cosmo. You should get a Cosmo. It's pink and it's so pretty and they're delicious.
Yeah, the drink I just recommended is also pink and much sweeter.
Thank you. Our Cosmos are not sweet at all. We don't use any
No.
simple
There's
or
no simple in it, and there shouldn't be. No, so keep going. But I have a story very similar to this.
Yeah, so that mate, and then the daughter was like, oh, well, what's in that? She asked me what's in the Cosmo, so I tell her, lime juice and triple sec.
Cranberry.
And cranberry juice.
Tart on tart.
Yeah, and lemon vodka. And she goes, and the mom goes, oh, you should really get it. A Cosmo's like a classic drink. You should really get a Cosmo. And so the girl's just
Yeah, for a grown woman.
yeah, and so the girl's just like, I guess I'll get a Cosmo. And she nursed the ever-loving shit out of that drink.
Yeah.
She didn't even finish it. And I know she didn't like it. And I'm mad because she would have loved the raspberry lemon drop that
Just
I
listen.
offered.
Right. Listen to what I'm saying as not only your server who works here and knows the drinks, but as a bartender.
Right.
As somebody with years of bartending experience and has handed off so many drinks to people and been like, this one's good. It's good. You'll like it. What do you like? A, B, and C? This has A, B, and C times 2.
Yeah.
Like, why? What?
I
Why?
was so aggravated that her mom did that. I was just like, you just ruined this girl's birthday dinner by suggesting heavily a drink that I did not explain in a way that would make her be like, ooh, yeah,
No.
actually, let's get that. No, she literally had to be like coerced into getting that drink
gross, I
by her
hate that.
mom when the drink I suggested would have been
Perfect.
a top fave for her.
Absolutely.
21-year-old raspberry lemon drop with sugar on the rim?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
For my 21st birthday. Now, keep in mind, I had been drinking before that.
course.
Like, we all
I was
were.
an alcoholic by 17.
Sorry,
Like-
Mom. But also, so I had been drinking, right? But I was having, shots of this or that. Goldschlager was definitely a big
Yeah.
one that my boyfriend and I had at the time. And so we get all dressed up. And my father takes me, my boyfriend, and my brother to Mastro's.
Ooh.
So very fine dining, right? And because my dad always wanted to eat there, and this was the perfect reason to go.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to go. So we sit down. I am all dolled up in this fucking cupcake, champagne-colored dress, and I looked like a little fucking cupcake, and these
Okay.
ridiculously taxing heels, and I didn't ever wear heels, so it was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I sit down and I look at them and they're like, we already know it's your 21st birthday because it was on the reservation. And it was the day of my 21st birthday. And I was like, yes. She's like, what can I get for you? And I was like, I want a Cosmo because I watched Sex in the City growing up. And
Yep.
I want I want the Sex and the City drink. I want a Cosmo. And so she brings it in. She says nothing. She brings it in. She brings it to me. I take one sip and she goes, do you like it? And I was like, she's like, it's not sweet. And I was like, it's not. And I'm used to, like I said, Goldschlager and other very sweet liquors, or we were drinking fucking wine coolers, at home. So I was like, it's not. And she goes, I'm going to get you something else. And I said, okay, great. It's up to you. She brought me a lemon drop. And I had 4 of those.
Absolutely, bitch.
And I was trashed. Don't ask me how Mastro's was. I just know that they have a fantastic butter cake.
And a great lemon drop.
And a fantastic lemon drop. And I think that bartender had it out for me because those were, like, lemon drops alone can be strong, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, 4 of them, and this is coming from a girl who did take shots. Yes. And I was fucking trash. Like, I think that guy was just like, you're getting 21st birthday. Yeah. You're getting all lemon vodka and like a squeeze, but still good. Still very good. And I enjoyed them for the rest of the night. Like, that was fantastic. So funny that it would be the exact same 2 cocktails
of course.
that you're talking about.
Yeah, my 21st birthday, like I said, I was borderline alcoholic by like 16, 17. My mom always had these fucking huge ass handles of Bacardi Silver in the house.
Great.
And so I was drinking Bacardi Cokes on a Wednesday night as I was doing my math homework. You know what I mean?
Parties with my friends, it was Bacardi and Coke or Bacardi and any kind of fruit juice. Like, that was a big one.
Yeah, Bacardi was huge for me when I was a teen. And then on my 21st birthday, I was like in a dingy ass bar that my boyfriend at the time took me to. It was like his dive because he was 32.
Drastically different stories here.
Yeah.
We come from other worlds, all of 10 minutes down the road from each other.
He took me to some dingy ass dive bar, and I was like, yeah, I'll get a dirty martini.
Fuck off. You hated yourself for that, didn't you?
I did, but I drank the whole thing.
Of course.
And then I had another one, and I thought I was really fancy and really cute because I was drinking dirty martinis on my 21st birthday.
The bartender was laughing at you.
Probably. Yeah. Again, they probably didn't think it. I don't remember if they carded me at all. They were probably just like, who cares? I was standing next to a pregnant woman who were both drinking. So there's that kind of dive. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit.
I don't know why this kind of irked me more than it probably should have tonight. But Paranorman walks up to me, and I'm washing my hands in the back. And he always starts with like, hey, I've got a weird question for you. And there are always like such like to his credit, I think he's grown so much. Like, yeah. But also, he still forever to me will just be perpetually new. Like,
because he is. He still doesn't know like all of the side work and stuff, and you've been here years.
Right. Like, I don't understand how your question is. So sorry. Let me back that up. What had happened was on the floor, he walked past me and said, "Hey, what nuts are in this dish? What are the nuts?"
One of our nut crusted.
Yes.
Things.
What are the nuts in the nut crusted fish?
Okay.
And so I look at him, and I answer him, and he goes, okay. News to me. And I looked at him and I goes, it shouldn't be news to you. You've been with the company almost 3 years. Shouldn't be news to you. And so, but I just like said it as he walked away, right? And I was like, whatever. So then I'm in the back and I'm washing my hands. He's like, hey, so I've got a question for you. And I was like, shoot, like, go for it. He goes, how do you remember all of the things that you know? Like the little things that like people don't really ask a lot. How do you remember those things? Like, do you have flashcards at home? Do you like go over them?
Yeah, I'm sitting at home using flashcards of the menu.
Yeah.
That I fuck up. My Quizlet is fucking banging, bitch.
For the menu at the restaurant that I worked at for going on 4.5 years. And I had to stop washing my hands to look at him and go, what? And he's like, well, just like, how do you retain the information? Like, do you have flashcards? Like, do you go over it? And I was like, no, man, I just know it. I know it because I've been here so long. I know it. And he's like, well, how long have you been here? And I was like, oh, like very soon in like a month or two, I'll be 4.5. Mm-hmm. And he goes, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I guess just like nobody's really asked me like this question like I learned it in training, sure. But nobody's asked me in the almost 3 years that I've been here. I go, that's fair. That question doesn't come up often.
I would say I've had it come up 3 or 4 times in the last 6 months. Like, that's
literally,
it's not often, but it is often enough.
I've gotten it more times in the last 2 months than I have in 3 years. Like, people are very curious about the lemon nut. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, what nuts are those? I was just like, I just know it. Like, I don't know how to answer that question other than just saying I do. Like, I just do. Yeah. Like, I make it a point to be good at my job. Like, is that the answer you want? Like, I try harder, fucker? Like, what? I don't know, man. And so I just kind of like walked away shaking my head, and then he came up to me again in the beverage station. He's like, I guess I'm just like, I'm not really great at like retaining, information for long periods of time. And I looked at him, I was like, you should see a doctor about that. You should probably talk to somebody, because, I mean, yes, going on 3 years for him, like 3 years is a long time, but with the same menu. It's 3 years with the same menu and with very minor changes, like minute changes.
Yeah.
We have seasonal items that come and go, and most of them come back, the next season.
Yeah.
And so you've been here for like multiple rounds of things, and but he's constantly asking like so many. And I'm one of those people that believes like, hey, there aren't none, but there are very few stupid questions. Mm-hmm. Like, I absolutely believe that nobody should be made fun of for just asking a question. Because if you don't know, then ask. Like,
right.
Absolutely. Because I've definitely been at jobs where I ask a question, everybody just laughs at me and walks away, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that stinks. It's super helpful. So I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to judge you a little bit on it, especially him.
For me, two things about that. What helps me remember a lot is when a table asks me a question that I don't know the answer to, and I then have to feel embarrassed enough to go to ask that question.
I'm never going to feel that way again.
I will forever remember the answer to that question because I don't want to feel that way again.
Right. I want to know it.
Yes. And then secondly, sometimes people will trip me up and they'll like, I'll just, oh, what type of fish is your fish and chips? And I'm like, oh, it's cod.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, last time I was here, it's this. And now all of a sudden I'm questioning my entire existence. Right. But it is one of those things, the minute they ask me, I'm like, oh, fuck, is it?
Right.
Like,
do I know?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit. I know, I could have swore I knew the answer to that question, but now all of a sudden I'm questioning if that's the correct answer. And so that will sometimes cause me to go and ask a question, and it is still very embarrassing. Just be like, it's the fucking cod and the fish and chips, right?
Or like just double checking, is there nuts in this?
Yeah, like
I'm pretty sure there's not, but now I'm not sure.
Yeah, guests will trip me up a lot, or other servers when other servers correct me on something. I'm like, what?
Since when?
And I'm like, wait, what's happening here? I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
And then I try to very quietly and slyly ask somebody that I trust, like, hey, what's happening here?
And I definitely don't know everything. Like there are questions that come up.
Training that comes to a server, so there's going to be
so
shit
there's
that we don't
questions
know.
that come up that I'm just like, you know what? Let me go find out. I'll go find out. And I have no problem asking those questions to, the kitchen managers or whoever that can get me the answer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The amount of just pure, like what to me feels like almost basic knowledge.
Yeah.
Questions that come out of his mouth, and I'm just like,
stuff that should have been answered in training and probably was, and
also
you're
just
still
in on the
it.
job like experience. Like you now have almost 3 years of on the job experience, and you still have these like very baseline questions.
Yeah.
And I kind of just want to be like, what? Like, how did this has never come up before?
Yeah, that's wild. Because like I said, I have it come up 3 or 4 times every 6 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not a super common question, but it's common enough that I now know the answer to what nuts are in the different nut crusted stuff because
it was just one of those things where I was just like,
every once in a while something will come up that'll make me so angry, and then I have to remind myself, I'm just like, I don't care.
Right. That's right. Nothing matters.
Why do I care so much about this mundane piece of shit thing? Like,
that fucking soundbite that's out right now where that girl starts getting like really fucking upset.
I'm an adult.
And then she's like, I need to calm down. I'm an adult.
That's 100%.
But yeah, to just be like, oh God, Jesus fuck. Oh, I need to calm down. I'm an adult. And none of this matters. And I get to leave here and not think about this place again.
You know what I thought about the other day? A soundbite from TikTok came up on my For You page that was, I don't rile them up or I don't amp them up. I'm not amped right now at all. And they're like screaming.
We don't rile each other up. I don't get riled. He doesn't get riled. I've never been riled up. And he's like, you're riled up right now. I'm not fucking riled. Yeah.
It reminded me of the other day.
With me.
It was like one simple comment. I go the fuck in.
It wasn't even directed at you. I was talking to the bar manager and I was like, oh yeah, when this shit happens, and you were on the POS next to me to whip around and be like, yo, when that fucking shit happens, I get, oh, fuck off. I hate that shit. And I just looked at you and I was like, Kat, chill the fuck out. You can't be mad for me. I mean, yes, be mad for me, but also fucking calm down.
I'm not riled.
I don't get riled. I've never been riled. That was so funny. And then 2 days later to have either I said something or you said something, and then bar manager looks at the other one of us and was like, shh, you're going to get her upset? Shh. Don't say anything.
So silly. That made me laugh. Yeah, I thought about that the other day, and I was just like, oh, I do get riled a lot at work, and I don't care.
I really don't.
I
really don't.
riled.
It's moments out of my day, and then it's gone. Today was a good day. I got out for the first time.
For the first time as lead server, yeah.
In months as a lead server, this was the first time that I left the building at close time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I, for whatever reason, get those tables that come in, and I've talked about it numerous times. I get the, when we close at 9, I get the 8:45 tables, or when we close at 10, I get the 9:50 tables. Like, and it's been so consistent for every one of my closing shifts that I've been dreading them, because I know that I'm not getting out of here. And it's like, yeah, I know I'm here until close. I'm fine with that, and I'll make the money, and it's great. But also just once, just one time, can I have that night where like I am wiping the counter down at close and I get to go and clock out? And that was tonight. And oh my God, it took everything in me. I was like, don't think it. Don't even don't put it out into the universe. Like when I text you and I was like, I'm on track to possibly could be out by close.
By 9-ish.
And you noticed the ish.
Yeah, I did. I
by 9-ish. Because it was 8:30?
Yeah.
And I was hanging with one table who was so polite. They were like, we have our order ready. We know you close at 9. I'm like, I love you. Like everyday heroes, right?
Mm-hmm. Not all heroes wear capes.
No, and they did not, and they were some of my favorite people ever. They were just, and as soon as they were done eating, they were like, we can get that check. It's right here for you. Oh my God, pay us out. We're going to leave. Oh my God, I love you.
Was it? I think it was like a week or two ago. You were closing, and I said something about getting out at a certain time, or you said something about getting out at a certain time.
No, hold on. It wasn't just that I was closing. We need to back this up so hard.
I've never seen you so mad at me.
We were outside vaping, because that's what we do.
Because we're degenerates, of course.
And so we're outside vaping, and you are ready to go home. You have like moments left until you get to go home. And because you were cut, obviously I'm closing, and you were cut, and you were like, hey, I'm going to fuck off in a minute. I was like, yeah, that's great. The way things are going, hopefully, I'm also out by close. Like it was feeling like a good night. Everything was kind of falling into place. And you open your stupid mouth and say,
your stupid whore mouth.
Stupid, ugly mouth. I love your mouth. You have a great mouth. Her mouth is very pretty. Anyways. And you say to me, yeah, until you get that walk-in 12 or whatever at 8:45. And I said, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I am not a superstitious person by nature, but I have learned one absolute fact in the restaurant industry, and that's you never say out loud what you don't want to happen.
Yeah.
You never say it out loud. Like, if you want to be busy, you don't fucking tell people you want to be busy. And if you want to be slow, you never say out loud that you want to be slow. Mm-hmm. Because you're fucking yourself over every single time. And I looked at you, and I was so mad. And then right before you left,
it was like 8:45, yeah.
It was 8:45, and you were, like, getting ready to swipe your fucking card. You were talking to the girls in the back, but you had, like,
I was ready.
You were ready to go. You were done with everything. You had already checked out. You were chatting with the girls in the beverage station, and we got a walk-in party of fucking 10.
Yeah, you came in hot.
I
pointed right in my face.
Pointed right at you, and I was like, "This is your fault. You fucked me. You fucked me tonight." You said, "You know what, bunny? Fuck you." And it happened, and it was fucking mostly kids. It was just like 6 teenagers, 2 little kids, and 2 adults.
Yep.
And it was. Fuck, God damn it. I was so, and then you're like, I can stay and take it. I go, no, you can't. Get out of here. Go home. You've done enough.
Yeah.
You have done enough. You did
enough.
You did that to me. And I was so like, and it, like at the end of the day, it's the luck of the draw, right? It just happens to be, I'm the draw. Like
every
that's
time.
it. I talked to all the other closers and I was like, hey, how was your night last night? It's like, oh man, I was out of here at 9:05. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Suck it. Like what? Every single fucking close for months. This has been my luck for months. So today, oh man, I'm cleaning that expo line and looking out.
Yep.
And I'm cleaning the expo line, looking out. And I'm like, I'm staring daggers at the host. Like, fucking fabulous host, I am daggering him every second I can. Like, don't you even
dare
think about it. Say nothing. Everybody say nothing. At one point, busser manager walks up, and he's like, yeah, so, and I go, nothing? nothing. We say nothing, walk away.
We're just enjoying this piece.
Yes.
Silently
for
and not
whatever it
thinking
is,
about, yeah.
nobody's thinking about it. Nobody's considering it. I mean, the kitchen, they closed everything the fuck down at like 9:30. They were completely closed down, and I was like, good luck, guys.
Yeah, I could have gotten real fucked there.
I learned my lesson not to dump the sauces because of that one fucking time. So I was like, I've got my nice little sauces. Here they are, in case, hopefully not, but here they are, ready to go.
Yep.
Like, everything's lined up, ready to be wrapped. Nothing was wrapped. I wrapped nothing until 8:55, and then I fucking did all of it.
Yep.
I was like, goodbye. Because at this point, I'm gonna look at a table and be like, don't.
You need to leave.
If I greeted somebody at the front at 8:56, I would be like, we're closed.
Yeah,
Like-
no, you have to leave.
Like, I know I can't actually do that, but there would be so much facial expression telling them to get the fuck out.
Yeah, it would definitely be like, oh, I mean, we do close in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say we close at 9. I would say very
Oh,
specific,
no, I'm
like,
giving you very specifically.
like-
You have 3 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah.
until
we
this restaurant is
close in
closed.
4 minutes.
And I would also probably sprinkle in the fact that I haven't had a table for 40. Yeah, nobody's been in for 40 minutes. Do you really want it to be you? Do you want it?
Or very much like, yeah, we close in 4 minutes, but that restaurant across the way, they're still open for another hour. And then there's those restaurants over there
Yes.
that are open until midnight. Like, I'm not saying we're closed and not seating you.
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, you're here, and that's a thing.
that exists. That's a reality.
That's a
that we're
reality for all of us
experiencing right now.
but I need you to make this choice.
Yeah. And it needs
And
to be the right one.
Pick the right fucking one. Or those plates are going to hit that table a little hard. No, I mean, when I tell you that I skipped out of the restaurant today,
Yeah.
and it was 9:01, and I, like, little girl, so happy, skipping out to my car.
You ready to check out?
I am ready.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Rolling Silverware Podcast. If you are enjoying the post-shift shit talk, please feel free to rate it. Tune back in next week for our shift shenanigans.